Hello there, fellow humans. Hi Gold, how you doing? Welcome. How's it going? Alright, what do we got in here? Nothing! Isn't that pretty? Eh. So they don't sell it for gold anymore. That's very interesting. $11,500 for a 10 and a 7. Wow. And no, not even equipment. And the sphere, I think it has a special camo anyway, but like, you get nothing. 11.5. Oh my Jesus. What is? Yeah, Bizonte is a good tank, but that's an awful bundle. People will buy it though. So. People will buy it. Go for 7.5k. Yeah, with equipment. 7.5k. Because I always have to consider that you have to play it like half an hour, 45 minutes to get the credits earned for the equipment. So, yeah. I don't know whether it's Wargaming trying to reduce the credit supply that's going around. Right, because the more people, like the more credits you have, the less battles you play, because like credits being as limited as they are is one of the main ways to make you play the game more. So I guess like limiting credit supply even further by just taking out the equipment from the bundle makes you play even more battles, right? Because you now have to earn even more credits that you would have previously just gotten. So, I mean, credits are as rare as they are on purpose, of course, to maximize your playtime. Right. Because you have the XP and the credits, and you can't earn both at the same time at the top rate, right? Because if you grind a tech tree, you don't earn as much credits, you earn more credits with premium tanks. That's the whole point, to get you to play more battles. Right, Wargaming ain't stupid. They're evil, but not stupid. So, let's see. Never had credits. Yeah, that's the point. You're not supposed to have credits. I just have 300 million because I unfortunately spent money on this game and grinded tanks real quick. And now I've got premium. I've had over 1,000 days of premium time at one point, and now like the last 10,000 battles or something like that, or 20,000 battles, I pretty much just gained credits every time because I had nothing to spend it on anymore. And obviously there's a lot of extra fun mode battles as well that are better for earning credits. Which is why I assume, obviously, the better fun modes, they want to keep them rare, so people play them when they're back. But also better fun modes, like Uprising, or especially the ones with the respawns, where you simply earn more. You don't want them to happen too often, right? Because you want to maximize the playtime. Playing War Thunder. Yeah. There's a lot of people that like switch to War Thunder or play War Thunder. I've get it a lot as well. Well, I used to get it when I made videos. You know, people like, oh, why don't you play War Thunder? I have played War Thunder, I just don't like it. I mean, I now do sim racing. Now, I can do sim racing again, because my replacement brake pedal has arrived. I still haven't sent the old one away, but it doesn't matter, you got 4 weeks to do that. So it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I've got the replacement brake pedal. Which means I can go racing again this week. Well, on Friday. On the stream, maybe. We'll see. Because the final Tuesday Blitz stream will be on the 23rd in 2 weeks. You don't do that. There we go. I survived. First class as well. That's hilarious. Didn't even... Oh, I got 4 kills, so... 5,000 gold for a tier 7. Oh, God. These bond 5.5... For 5.5k... You got... A tier 8. Jagdtiger Radiator T-34 or later. 5.5k. With either 30 days of premium or 500,000 creds on top. Right, and a couple of boosters. That's the 5.5k bundles. This is now 5,000 for a tank a tier lower and no extra rewards. But it does include equipment. Now equipment is the special reward instead of the premium time and whatnot. So... Damn, this game's going downhill. Badly. In terms of the shop quality. At least. Okay, let me check. Let me check Steam. The game is now. The average players on Steam. Hold on. Let me just to put this into perspective. The average players in August of 2025 in World of Tanks Blitz was 4,900 average players. That is a number that has never been this low since 2017. Blitz is in trouble. Massively. Blitz is in trouble. This is half, almost half, of the average player on Steam than at the same time last year. That is insane. That is insane. Now, it's obviously not representative of Blitz as a whole, but it is genuinely insane how much it's dropped. The only month that had a gain this year so far was June with 3.5%, and that can be assumed to be school holidays, right? Because in June most kids have school holidays, and this is like a kids game as well. So you can explain that gain away like that. But that's insane. So let's see. I don't know if it's as bad on mobile devices. Probably is somewhat similar. But I would expect at least a 30% reduction year on year from last year to this year in terms of player numbers, and that is bad. And the significantly worsening shop as well is probably going to eventually put a hit to revenue as well. So Reforged is gonna... Ouchie ouch. Because now, I think Wargaming's waiting with Ultra Tests 3. They're waiting long enough that people forget how bad the first release of Reforged was. Right? Probably. Hi, Tricky. How you doing? And then put it out. Hi, Loner. Constant Game was a good player base from pubs and all. Yeah. And they also do... I said this in 2022 already, that the player base... So this is just a continuation of what I have already... Because that's the thing, I have nothing new to say about Blitz anymore. I just say the same thing I said 3 years again, confirm that I was correct with my assumption, and repeat my assumption. That basically the good time of Blitz was like 2017 to 2019. Because then, during the pandemic, it was a massive influx of non-tank enthusiasts, let's put it that way. People that just play the game because they want to play a game, not because they want to play a tank game, right? So obviously that made match quality deteriorate quite a lot when you have an influx of more casual players, and that's a good thing for the game because the like player numbers go up, but the match quality goes down. So since then, it's pretty much match quality has been going down, and now I think a lot of veterans also left, so match quality is not going to go up again, even if it grows. So, and also the shop. I mean, I have a video prepared on the shop. They're going to come out. The first one's going to come out in the last week of September, and then there's going to be 3 more through October and November, and I'll make them in the next 2 weeks, and I'll just make them members only because I don't have any time after that. But oh, Marky, how you doing? But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But yeah, it's like mad. And I don't think Blitz is going to recover that, to be honest. Because why would it? Like, what can Wargaming offer that will recover it? It's not Reforged. And, like, that decline happens even as Wargaming gives away more free tanks, which is bad for Wargaming, keep in mind, because the more free tanks they give away, the less free-to-play players become paid players, because if you get 5 or 6 free premiums, why would you buy any? Or if you go through the events and, like, that's why I always complain about event players, right? Because there's a lot of players that play only during events, right? Like, you play the event, you get your 4 or 5 days of premium, you play those 4 or 5 days of premium, like you grind credits in that time, and then you go off again until the next time. It's the same with World of Tanks 2.0. And like, what is it? Sure, it brings tier 11, so you have one more thing to grind, but you know, it doesn't like... World of Tanks isn't Counter-Strike, where you have to be very careful with what you do because it's already perfect. So it's hard to... Like, what do you do to Counter-Strike? You know, that's just... I mean, Valve could do a lot, like bring back retakes and everything, but... So... When's 110 days from now is the 29th of December. So that would coincide nicely with the end of the year. Yes, there is a tier 11 in World of Tanks PC now. Now, obviously, take a guess. Did they add real tanks or did they add fake tanks that they made up randomly? Take a guess what they did. So... They didn't add a T-64 or a Leopard 1A5 or a M60A whatever. No, they made up fake tanks and added them at tier 11. So... And most of them are genuinely just fakes, like they're not designs or anything, they're just fake. What did I die to? Didn't remember. God damn. Like, they're just fake. Like, I think one of them... Oh, that's not what I want to do. I'll go here. Yeah, it was the MX or the Lycan, but I'm not sure. I'll just do the MX. Also shooting at you. Yeah, hold on. Rewind time. Oh, it was a Lycan. It was the Lycan. Alright. Okay, hazard. Lycan, there we go. And obviously, with Reforged, they like spent 2 years developing that and like changing it and then making something new. And in that time, they didn't really like. What happened in the last 2 years in Blitz? Nothing really. It was just, you know, nothing of relevance. And they added like a couple of tanks, couple of tech trees that didn't really do much. You know, like there's already no Polish tank destroyers around anymore. When I heard about Tier 11, I thought about Spiral Times with 11 on the volume. Yeah, a little extra. Well, yeah, some of those have like, basically the tanks have really wacky abilities. Like the Tier 11 for the grill has like a shell warming ability, whereas if you load the shell and then you wait another 5 seconds, it warms up the shell and then it does more damage. Because that makes sense. Because a warm shell has more penetration because a metal that's softer is harder. So or maybe it glides through the barrel better. Right, when the shell is warmer, it glides better through the barrel. It has more velocity, so it does more damage. And the T-125, I think it's like the T-803 or something like that. It basically, the more, like if you hit the enemy, then it gets higher DPM. Like every time you hit an enemy, the DPM increases. And obviously it decreases slowly over time. But if you keep firing your gun at an enemy, even if you don't pen, like if you just track a guy, you can like increase your DPM massively by shooting at people. Happiness is the one. Yep. Realistic. Yep. Absolutely. So yeah, and the CS63 Tier 11, because in World of Tanks PC the CS63 is actually good because it can switch between turbo mode and firing mode. It can just switch instantly, which is interesting because in the regular CS63 has like 2 seconds to switch between firing and driving. It goes like 65, 70 kilometers an hour in driving mode, but it basically doesn't have any accuracy. It has like T49 accuracy in driving mode. But then you switch back to shooting mode and it has like E50M sort of mobility. Still good. I have to get War Thunder a go. Probably not. I wouldn't recommend it. Man. I do them. Well, the K2 was a free giveaway tank, and it is pretty much on level with the less desirable Soviet heavy tanks, basically. So you're not missing anything by not having it, Hannibal. And I would recommend waiting, if ever there is such an opportunity, to get something like a Type 63 in the shop, to get something like a Skoda T56 in the shop, or a Type 57 in the shop, and to avoid the, like, the i6 got buffed a bit, but it's still the i6, you know. Don't recommend it. But today I play whatever tank gets me. And I started with the Tiger 131 and I got gotten by a Lycan. So here we are. Hello, baboon. How you doing? Your hot shell through butter. Exactly. Exactly, because we all know that hot metal is harder. But yeah. see. Nobody here. Okay, this is not very good because most of the time, ideally, you would want the team to play somewhat cohesively, where you can crossfire each other, and there is a tog. Your opinion of Polish tech tree? Well, given that they're tank destroyers, I don't care about them. I think that they are a more interesting replication of the Object 268 tech tree, right, with the better armor and the close range fighting. It's sort of like 268 or the WZ-113 GFT, whatever that thing's called, tech tree. So it's that, but as in different, essentially. So if you enjoy an Object 268, if you enjoy a Chinese tank destroyer, if you have those tech trays, if you like them, then I think the Polish tanks would be a worthwhile addition to the garage. Otherwise, if you have either the Chinese or the Soviet tank destroyers and you're not really that happy with them and you're like, I don't know, there isn't much point going for the Polish tank destroyers unless you, like, let's say you play the WZ 113 GFT, whatever, and you're like, hey, I wish I could play this even closer at the front line. I think maybe then the Polish tank destroyers are a good idea. Big math puzzle. I have no idea what the tank's called. So. And one very important thing is to realize in Blitz as well that you don't have to like every tank. Like, I can play well with pretty much any tank, but why am I doing this stream? Because I get to play tanks that I would never in my life choose to play, right? Like a Lycan or something. Basically, what I would do if I play this game, I would play E50M, Leopard, STB-1, maybe a Patton. Used to be the Chieftain, T-125, and their corresponding lower tiers like T-482, T-77s. I mean, T-57 Heavy, put that in there. You know. So I would play like 30 tanks, maximum. So let's see. That dude's not. Oh, he's gone for me. Just gonna keep him busy. Here's a fun fact: most players in Blitz don't have any patience. So if you just hide behind cover, which you should always play around cover, if you just stay behind cover for long enough, they're gonna lose interest in you and turn away. KT or Object 2, which one do you prefer? They pretty much play the same. It doesn't, like, whichever one of the two you, if you have both, I do have both, they play the same. So I don't have the Tiger frontline, I think. So oh, quite a bit of armor now. Come on. Lol. See, this is what I mean. Like, I can do whatever I want in this game, and the average player at this point is so bad that me attempting to fail will still result in top damage, and that is pathetic. I sometimes do fail, which is nice, right? Because always top damage is boring, but okay, let's go over here real quick. Let's mark that. Now, the 2FTU, it's got a bigger lower plate, of course. It's got the bigger alpha damage, so they both don't have gun depression. The 2FTU probably has the funkier armor profile down the side as well. So 2F2 versus K2 pretty much comes down to one thing, and that is which one is cheaper at that point. And if you have both, which one do you feel better with, right? Because a tank being good on paper, statistically, you can't really argue about that because they're numbers, right? And those are fixed numbers. It's like trying to argue that the number 7 isn't the number 7. It just is, right? So you can't really argue about the stats of tanks. But if, let's say, a tank that has worse stats performs better for you personally, that's a great thing, right? Or a tank that has terrible stats on paper performs really well because it happens to have those stats that are hard to deal with, right? The Leopard is a counterexample to that, where the Leopard on paper is an absolute monster, but people can't play it, so it doesn't really perform all that well, right? But if you know what you're doing, you're absolutely going to own the battlefield in a Leopard. And you're going to do like an IS-7. It's going to be a lot easier, or an IS-7 or a IS-4 or an E-100. They're a lot easier to play, right? Because essentially armor is sort of an extra second chance. If you don't have skill, if you don't know how to angle, if you don't know how to position yourself, then armor can help you on top. Right. That is a K2 that I don't want to deal with right now. Because obviously I'm a tier 7. Like, if I was not so good of a player, I would continue to attack that guy. However, I'm now going to pull back and wait for the AT-15 to engage, because that's a tier 8. That's a big boy. And the big boy can deal with the K2 a lot better than I can. Now, that's a WZ, I think. Here's a WZ. Don't want to deal with that, because that is pretty much a very good tank destroyer. So now we're doing this. Do I want to fight an enemy that's looking at me? No. Gives it 70 or BZ 170. I have no idea what the stats of the BZ are, so I have to look. No idea what the numbers are. You have a Cupola? I'll just shoot on the other one. Like, you can gun block all that. Oh, you got 2 Cupolas, buddy. You got 2 Cupolas. And see, why was I reversing there? Because I know the AT-15's there. Huh? What do you think of what 2.0? Well, it's not gonna save the game, but interesting, I guess. Hold on, let me see. Capes at 70. Slap them in here. Oh, you can't see that. But anyway, Capes at 70. And BZ 176. Okay, the BZ 176 has... BZ 176 has worse DPM, worse penetration, significantly worse shell velocity, slightly better aim time, worse dispersion by 14%, which is 1 degree worse gun depression, similar power to weight ratio, albeit worse top speed, and armor that is thinner. It's ass. The KPZ 70 is not... The KPZ 70 is an average tank now. So, the BZ is worse. Worse. Much worse. I mean, what is this? Let's go. I have a Foch 1.5 for Bon. I have a CS63 tech tree unlocked. I have a M60 on my main account. And then I also have my other account, like this account, because I use a different account. Because when I made my World of Tanks PC account, I didn't know that I could use the same account from Blitz in World of Tanks PC, so I have a different one. Right, so with this account, I have 75 battles in World of Tanks. So on that account, I got myself a 183, because why not? And a Leopard. Because pretty much I have researched all the tanks I care about, and I wouldn't play that account anyway, so it's pointless. So I just got myself a funny little leopard. Yeah, I pretty much just play World of Tanks PC like one random week a year during the year, and then during the Christmas event. Which one's underrated? I think it's fairly rated. It's a good tank, and it's rated as such. Why do I have a turbo in my bum? Okay, do I not have a team? Okay, I don't have a team. So... And, of course, the non-existence of a team is immediately rewarded with a beautiful, and I do mean beautiful offer. I mean, look at that, guys. I mean, just look at that. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. €6. Oh, a joke. There we go. Bam. Let's see. The French government fell again. Yeah, I know. Even more funky stuff happened in Nepal. You gotta look at that. Like, look at what happened in Nepal. That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy what happened there. Well, Eric. Exactly, Eric. It's just mind-boggling. Have you played the BZT-70? What? I know the 75, that's the tier 10. I know the new tier 11 is the 79. The tier 8 premium in World of Tanks PC, that's OP, is the 176. That's, I think, also in Blitz, but kind of sucks in Blitz. So I'm not sure what tank you're talking about. I'm not sure what you're talking about. If you're talking about a tank that happens to be in testing, then I am a tester. I don't test them, so I don't know. Like, I have the test tanks on my account, but I don't play them because... Like, there are people at Wargaming that are getting paid to do that, and I'm not gonna... Like... That's not my problem. So... Playing a TD. Well, unfortunately I have to, because I died to one. But hopefully we'll get out of here soon. Gameplay of the BZT-70 which line plus alpha and AP and 23 reload. I don't know anything about that. Because I'm not a World of Tanks PC tester. Have no idea about all the premium tanks in World of Tanks PC. I just know that BZ-176 is OP. I know that the wheeled ELS, like the wheeled tier 8 premium is OP, and I know that the Barask's really good, which I know because I play that a lot. And like testing in Blitz, I don't know then. I don't know. I could be testing it, but I don't check. Like, I haven't played this game since last Tuesday. Just to put it into perspective. Let's see. One last guy. Hello. Well, I survived, unfortunately. But, Hannibal, if we look at the Type 5 Heavy, which is here, then there is no shred of excitement to be had about new tanks. Because this costs 300 euros. 300 euros for one tank. So, yeah. Remember, the charm price is the price. Because everything else is gambling. This, by the way, is as well called bad marketing. AKA good marketing, because if it's bad for you, then it's good for them. But, yeah. I think I have to do... See, this is what I'm missing. 2 days, okay. To do it tomorrow then, or today. Because I basically have... Like, I'm working on a video where... talk about everything that's in the shop. So I don't have to ever talk about it again. And I haven't had a linked bundle for that yet. Which is yet another funny trick that Wargaming uses where you get nothing. Alright. What are the rules for TD? What do you mean, what rules? The Saint tank requests today. So it's not... The rules are I have to play the tank that gets me, and this thing got me, so I'm now gonna play it. And that guy doesn't know what the heck he's doing. He's actually... Oh. Almost. Remember bullshit bingo. Remember that. Clanless, camoless, player underscore, Ghost City in a medium tank. Almost. He's not clanless. He's not clanless, but... Oh! Bingo! Bingo! Dies in the first minute of the battle. We got a bingo, boys. We got a bingo. Jesus. That guy is allowed to vote, or will be allowed to vote eventually. And that's the problem. Oh no, it's cool. Nope. I'm allowed to vote, and I shouldn't be here. Oh well. Might as well make this loss funny. Oh no, it's getting worse. I'm not gonna play that gun. I'm not playing that gun. Forget that. But I am gonna frontline it. Or actually I'm not, because this is dead rail, so I'm just gonna camp. Lol. The best among these are 5, 6, 2, 2, 2020, S3, and K2. Well, 2FTU and K2, but the Type 57, the Skoda T56, and the Type 63, especially the Type 63, which came out not that long ago, and it was pretty much one of the very few good tanks that Wargaming released in the last 2 years, are better. So, but if you're looking for a specific Soviet vehicle, then you're probably best off with the 2FTU and the K2. More so the 2FTU, if you have the ability to deal with the massively sized lower plate. That will pose some troubles. Now, guys, what is the... Let's do a double. Let's do a double. What is the win rate of the Smasher, and what is the win rate of the M41 from last battle? Let's do a double. That was an ISU, that's something else. I mean, it was a tier 7 battle, so it would have been difficult to be an ISU 152. Come on! Yeah! $42 and $44, okay. Wow. If he's bold, he's still in the bush. Oh, yeah! Now that is it. Casually doing top damage in a tier 7 battle? Why not? Alright, Smasher, you have interesting playstyle. Didn't expect that. Alright, I'm gonna guess 44. The hell, man? Is he... Oh, okay, that's why. Well, no, it's his second most played... Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, buddy. You have 704 battles on the M41 Bulldog, yet you didn't put a camouflage on it. What the heck is wrong with you? But 3,000, like... He doesn't even have a tier... What is this? What is this? Why does he have 3,000 battles in the same tank? And why is it TS5? I don't... Okay. What was he... What is... What? I don't... It does not make sense to me what that was. At all. I hear a beeping. Someone reversing. Someone's reversing somewhere. Imagine if you get killed by a stock T95. Well, I'll just play a upgraded T95 because I don't take modules into account for this because obviously an enemy that killed me could have had a stock engine or stock tracks and I would never know. So I'm just gonna not bother with trying to account for loadout and guns and turrets and stuff, even though, you know, with some tanks you can tell very easily. But, like, let's say a T-54 has two guns that have the same alpha damage that you can't tell apart unless you're close to it, right? Because if you're 200 meters away, you're not gonna see that, whether it has the flat muzzle or the muzzle brake. So I just don't take that into account at all. And yes, I'm standing out in the open. No, nothing's gonna happen to me. So... Nope, that didn't go anywhere. Huh? How did... Unless he drove forward while he was unspotted, I hit his lower plate at an angle that shouldn't have penned. But okay, I'll take it. Let's see. His road wheel. Possible, yeah. I mean, that was pretty much on his lower plate. So I kind of had to hit him in the side a little bit there. I can't... No! Didn't go through. Did damage his ammo, though. No, don't try. That could have been a massive explosion if I would have lobbed that shell into the weak part of the oscillating turret. Oh, that's an AFK. Oh, I can take my time aiming. Ammo rack's about here, I think. I did hit 2 crew members. To be fair, I do want to die to the Samoa. He doesn't want me to die, apparently, though. Is he loaded still? I think he has 1 left, but... Man, no. I don't know where that went. So much excitement from Marty. Well. Playing a tank destroyer. Please just kill me. Oh my. Come on. No, no, man, really? Please. Okay, finally.
How? That shouldn't be that hard.
It shouldn't be that hard. Oh my god. Okay. Top damage. Hello, Hans. What are you doing, Igor? What are you doing? What are you doing, Igor? Top security 242. But at that point, it's more personal preference. I mean, they go both good tanks. You know, they're both worth getting, and there are very few tanks that are actually worth getting, but those 2 are pretty much it. They were asking him to kill you while wiggling at him. Yes. Like, oh, there he is again. Look at that, it's Igor Orlenko 1 again. Of course I'm gonna wiggle while, like, I want him to earn it, right? I'm not just gonna gift it to him. You know, it would be weird, you know, it's just surrendering is a bit unsportsmanlike, you know? It's like, I'm fighting him to the best of my ability while rooting for him, you know? Toilet should boost my win rate. Oh well. It gotta boost your credits though. You can't buy new tanks from win rate. Alright. There he is, it's Igor. Hashtag free Igor. What are you... You should have run away, like, a long time ago, buddy. Poor Igor. Rip Igor. Makes it hard for him to pen. Yeah, that's the point. I want him to earn... I want him to earn it. I'm not just gonna gift him the kill, you know? It's like... It would be weird. It would be insulting his ability. I mean, he insulted his own ability by failing that badly. But... I would assume... that he was capable of killing me, even if I wiggle, of course. But he's not good. Probably got it for free and was only premium. Yeah, but then he would have like gotten a few tech because 3,000 battles of 1 tank. That's a lot of millions of credits. Like he's probably got like 50 million credits sitting around, at least. So. Do something with it. It's the best crew racing game. I don't care. I don't really care about that. And I did pretty... Look at that, I did badly. Weeb. Not weeb. We got a weeb and a Winnie Jones. Would you look at that? Well, the best crew is the World of Tanks PC crew, because you've got like Jason Statham and stuff in it as your commander, which is funny. I got Jason Statham as my commander in the British wheeled mediums. And every single one, except a couple of special crewmen. Except a couple of special crewmen. Every single one of my Polish crew in World of Tanks PC is obviously, undoubtedly, named Grzegorz Bręczewicz. Because why wouldn't they? It is the only Polish name. Is it Igor again? No, it's Vladimir this time. What is it? What is it with Russian names or Eastern European names playing some OSMs? Time to kill me. A tank request is next week again. Mate. Finally, you penned me. Well, that's a VK beat. Probably haven't played that thing in for a long time. I'm in a bad spot here because I'm between my team and the enemy team, and that's not where you want to be. You never want to be between the enemy team and your team, ever. Because then, obviously, who gets attacked? You! Maybe I can make that SU-130 useful. Probably not, though. Oh, he's running away. Mate, I'm delivering you a Pantera on a silver platter. Come here. He doesn't even want it. Now he turns it, mate. A+ decision making there from Buddy. .277 IS-4. I don't have the IS-4 in World of Tanks PC, so I can't tell you. I don't have the IS-4, and I don't have the artillery in the Soviet tech tree. I've never played the 705, even though I have researched the 705A. Ugh, Jesus. Please let me die to that guy. I choose my death. I choose that one. Nope. Alright. Let me see. When was the last time I played this vehicle? Because obviously I would never play this thing voluntarily. Let's see. Tier 9. German. All time. Heavy. Over a year ago. A year and a month ago was the last time I played this. Probably some member requested it. Dang. Alright. VK4502B. The predecessor to the VK72. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. I wonder why 77 is not in Blitz. I don't know. Why is the Centurion Action X not in Blitz? Where are the Swedish mediums? Where are the ST2? Why is the CS63 dog shit in Blitz? When it is a really great tank in World of Tanks PC. They're different development teams, right? And you see it now with the Type 5 Heavy. World of Tanks PC has a Type 5 Heavy tech tree. Right? With the Type 4, the OHO, the ONI, and the OI, I think. The OI. So you've got enough tanks to make a tech out of it, but Wargaming... I mean, Wargaming had previously lied and said that the tank is too big for blitz maps, which is a lie. So... I don't know what form of lie it was exactly, but it is a lie. Because the Type 5 is not bigger than the mouse, really. How did... Okay, I'm just not gonna ask. Combat! Oh. I haven't... Okay, the Progetto's useless, that's cool. It's great to know. It's great to know that the Progetto's useless. Ow. For us, not even STA-2. Yeah, that's true. That is true. But why is... Like, why is the Type 5 a premium tank in Blitz? Because of money, that's why. Because of money. Because Wargaming needs money. I think... The only reason why they'll release the Type 5 now is because... It's a tank that a lot of people wanted, and Wargaming and Blitz is in a pretty much a crisis right now. Right? And that's why it's so expensive, because Wargaming knows that a lot of people want the tank, and they've wanted it for years, and now... Now that here it is, but it costs $300, and you're getting scammed for it. Because they increased the charm amount to 50. Which is insane. So... It's not the map of the game. The map in which your team goes city. The map on which your team goes city. Because that's the map you lose. But the hardest map is probably the easiest map. As in Port Bay. Because Port Bay is extremely easy to win. However, it's also extremely easy to lose. By simply not taking that ridgeline. Or like this, for example, where we have a team that partially goes city, and sucks. And now we're gonna have to sort of deal with the Jagdtiger, but can't really because we've got an AFK, or at least semi-AFK. I don't know what he's doing. And I've obviously got the Jagdtiger behind me, something you don't want. You want all enemies in front of you. Ideally, you want one enemy in front of you, right, to deal with. Because now, if I engage the yaw, the T-26 can shoot me from the side. Obviously, they're going to engage me at the same time because they know that they're winning the battle, and they have already won the battle. And now it's just damage control, basically. It's pretty much just damage limitation at this point, because that guy's not going to help. The medium might be useful, but he's actually useless. So, I can't push this guy because there's guys behind him. I can try to ram him now, so I don't have to waste a shell. Just to be careful there. And now somehow they're down to 3. And here comes the medium. Obviously now I have to get out of this kill zone because I know the AMX is on the other side. And he can use that place there. Right, so I have to get the heck out of there. And he's now going to chase me, most likely. No, actually he's not. Here comes the Progetto from the top. I mean, the Progetto could dive him, but... Okay, the Vipera is genuinely useless. And now here comes the WZ as well. Obviously I'm going to get shot in the turret here. And we're going to have to kill this guy quickly before the other two arrive. Now that's bad on behalf of the Progetto. Because he's now going to cost us the match by dying. So now the MX is going to jump down. And the 53 is healthy enough to kill us. The WZ is bad enough to push now, which is a bad idea. And the 50... No, don't do that, buddy. Don't do that. Don't do that. See, look, he's positioning himself in an advantageous position. You don't want to do that. You want to... Exactly. But no... Yep. Correct move there from the MX, going flanking. That is the correct thing to do, and we could have won there if the Vipera wouldn't have been so useless, but here we are. I can't turn this damn thing because it's fucking thick. And now I can't facehug that guy because obviously the MX is going to kill me from the side if I do that. Hey, why is your reload half an hour? Now I'm going to facehug him, or I have to facehug him, even though I do have a massive cupola. But he would have shot that anyway. 50B, 4.5, both are shit. Hello, Jema. Scott, I'm playing some War Thunder. Cool. Well, as you can see, city teams are bad. All right. But obviously, has to be said that without the terrible city players, people couldn't be as, like, super Unicum and whatever. Right? Because I need these bots to farm. Them. And they're never gonna learn, you know, it's like the people that continue to vote for the same party that continues to make their lives worse, but they keep voting for them because they're being told that other people make their lives worse. If you defend or attack, neither. Ignore both. So, get yourself an Object 752 and laugh at the people that are stupid enough to buy the rest. Okay, where are we? That bush, that bush, that bush. Which bush is it? Or rather, I'm just gonna send it. This is called hit point spotting, otherwise known as being stupid. Where you press W out in the open and see who hits you, and then you know where they are. Hello, defender. That's a T-28 then. Come on, shoot the turret. Okay. Oh. Well, that guy should have learned now the lesson that you don't go to the city alone. And that guy should learn that you don't fight from the bottom. Right, quick pro tip. Fight from the high ground. And don't fight 5 tanks at the same time. And also don't go city, because then you get annihilated like that Annihilator. Thinking about buying the 2S30 in War Thunder. I don't know what that is. But have fun. But I wouldn't buy anything in War Thunder because War Thunder are Russians and I don't give Russians money. So... Of course, he couldn't even shoot him again, so I can take him out. Nope, he couldn't even do that, god dang it. I have to deal with the Kalana with a... Yeah. Because I can't reverse if unless... Yeah, like, fuck me. See, this is what you don't want. Ever. To have multiple tanks around you like that. Lol. Come on, faster, faster, faster. Come on. Yes! Woohoo! I think I can reload him. I think I can reload on him. Yes, I can! Oh, yeah. Ma, look at me. I'm better than y'all. Oh. Hey, Emil. There's a dude you could help me with. Nope. Or not, then, Emil. Or not. But yeah, I just got out of the worst possible situation somehow. Don't die. Don't, no. Yes, Emil. Okay, good. Hold. No. Don't do anything, A40. Just go. No, A46, there's a guy behind you. The TNH made the wrong choice. They should have taken out the A46 there. Don't get yourself killed. Oh my god, he's gonna get himself killed. Go wider, Emil. Don't approach from the same side! Oh my god. Okay. E100 at Type 5. The Type 5 Heavy is 300 euros. Case closed. Obviously the E100. Obviously. I mean, the E100 is a much better tank anyway, but it also doesn't cost 300 euros, so... Of course the... E100 is a much better vehicle. Okay, what was that killed me? Bziklob. TNH. Okay, that's the Czech-Tirate Heavy, I believe. Yes, it is. There we go. Nail biter. Yeah, like, ugh. That there you know that the decision making of most Blitz players doesn't exist. Like, mate, just attack from 2 angles. It's like the first thing you learn is don't poke from the same hole. Don't stick 2 things in the same hole if you have 2 holes. Wait a minute. Is he gonna peek? Oh, of course. Of course the Kalana's gonna bump me and kill my aim. Yay! What is he doing? That's how you play the game, by the way, guys. Just drive sideways. Drive sideways past the probably most prominent camping spot in... Well, maybe not the entire game, but it is a pretty prominent camping spot. Yes, I'm here, and you can't do anything about it. Well, that guy could peek me. E30 or Conway. Depends on which one you like more. Hello. Czech brother. Nobody can... Yeah, whatever. That was a bad trade, buddy. Especially because you're gonna get a 3rd for your troubles. Unless you reverse back quickly enough. Okay. Delave is holding that. He could jump now, whatever. He could jump in behind me, but... I'm gonna deal with this now. Where did that shot go? The heck? Okay, he's a bit dumb. Well, that's a free one. He's stock as hell, or is that premium ammo? But I don't think it has as low as 190. It's got like 300 alpha damage, right? So it can't have 190 on the premium unless it's a stock gun. So poor guy. Poor little guy. Come here. Come here. Yes. Turn around. Ooh, Löwe has game awareness. Look at that. The Löwe has game sense. We can applaud him for that. Mine. Nope. Alright. Nice. Especially our jet players, I can't even get to an enemy base without getting shot with a missile. Well, that's life. Hi, Sissy, how you doing? Picking those streams again. Well. Not for long. Not for long. This will end at the end of September. And then maybe I'll do it again in February, but probably not. Rano's Marty's actual hairline in his 30s. Probably, yeah. Watch the Terrifier series. Nope. Have not. Have not done that. Now, the goal of today's stream is to get to tier 10. We'll see. You crazy, STV, you crazy. Alright, I was close, I was the VK, yeah. I was at the VK. But a climate doesn't talk any rules, I mean, yeah, okay. Doesn't sound interesting to me, to be honest. Alright, well, we got the trash train over there. That's not gonna achieve absolutely nothing, so... yeah. This is also what a hard map looks like. This is also what a hard map looks like when you have players like that. I have no idea what they're doing. And they're giving up the good side of the map for no gain whatsoever. Obviously, this guy's throwing away. Blatantly throwing away. You couldn't throw harder than he did. Oh, and Nazine, how you doing? Welcome. Massive broken misery. Ow! No, I'm gonna play that! What do you mean I see broken miserable today? He puts rats down a woman's throat and lets them eat their way out. Yeah, that's not... that's just sad. Hell no. Alright. But given what is the current US president, it is very likely that people like that exist. Alright. Well, I don't have the fake copy, so I'm gonna play the original. Glass Onion was a good movie. I've seen that one, yes. Haven't seen Enola Holmes 2. Seen the first part, but I don't remember anything. Really? So, the monastic pleasure from these streams. So, yes, baby. Well, if we can get an Object 752, It's gonna get difficult because it's kind of hard to die in that thing at all. It is a Swiss tank, yep. So... then cut holes in it easier. Why would you want to cut holes in it? Well, he doesn't have any self-preservation at all. But then again, given how his team is, I would throw too. Because they suck. Hello, yo. Oh, Jesus Christ. Now, this tank is what's commonly referred to as a piece of trash. That should not be recommended or played. Yeah, mate, I'm standing there. I mean, sure, I sacrificed a bit of HP, but I basically stopped them from getting out of there. Which is hilarious. Okay, so we got the Kalana apparently back there. I guess? Yeah, pretty pathetic performance from the Centurion and the Louis there. But now, obviously, the guys in the city will be somewhat troubled to keep up. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. It was the Kalana. Guess how I knew that. It's deduction. Nothing else. LKBZ. I have played it, yes, but what about it? I mean, I don't have it on my own account. I have it on the press account because I don't buy anything anymore because it's not worth it. But oh, can't get that. I can proudly say that I have not spent a single cent or yen or dollar or pound or ruble or dong on this game in 2024 and 2025. Yes, the Vietnamese currency is called the dong. Thank you for asking. It is funny, yes. Alright, let's do this. Eric Concept 1. Overhyped. Overhyped. Way too overhyped. I mean, it was one of the few tanks in the auction that sold out even at 17.5k, which is hilarious given that it's just a tank. But yeah, I think the last time Blitz had this low player numbers on Steam was in July 2017. Like, Reforged is pretty much an extinction level event for this game. That's crazy. I mean, obviously World of Tanks PC has been dying for the last 5 years, but it's not gonna go away anytime soon. But, you know, a game dying simply means that it's losing more player than it gains. And that's what it is. Because that's what dying means in nature as well. A human starts dying at about the age of 25 when you lose more cells than you gain. Roughly. It's obviously a simplification of it, but that's about it. Guess how that hit? Should pick the Kibis or the Czech Progetto? I would definitely pick the Skoda. It's also an autoloader and not a auto reloader, so not a Progetto by any means. Well, team, Could it be that you all fucking suck? Quite a bit. Well, I'm holding back 2 tier 10s here, so thank me. And, team. You better thank me. Alright. Oh, it's gonking time. He's gonking. And he got out-gonked. No more gonking for him. It's about the same time the premature starts going on downhill. Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much all our modern problems can be traced down to the fact that we're a lot dumber at feeling than we are smart at thinking. Right? Like, our emotional responses are a lot more prominent than our rational thinking, which is obviously evolutionary, a great thing to have, because, like, imagine you're like a caveman, and you go to a water hole, and there's a creature, right? It doesn't make any sense to reason, okay, is that a tiger, or is that the neighbor? The evolutionary advantage that you want is like, fuck, run away. Right? Now, the problem is in our society that we've built now, emotion is about the last thing that you want interfering with things. Right? Because you can't make emotional economic policy. I mean, you can, but it ends badly. You can't govern by feels. So... that's why I would like, I would sentence voters of those right-wing parties, and especially in Europe, I would sentence those voters to 2 weeks of Bangladesh, right? To put into perspective what they have and how their life is essentially at a level that others could only dream of. Unintelligent design, yeah. Oh. I mean, if there was a creator, that creator would have to be an ignorant halfwit. But so are the people that believe in those, mostly. So that's the funny, that's the beautiful thing. Emotion transcends reason. You can have reasonable people that somehow believe in horoscopes. Right? Because there's no point attached to it. It's just feels. It just feels. Uh-oh. I feel that I'm fuckaronied. Uh-oh. And tier 10. Talking about the tier 11 because most of the tier 11s are lazy. Like they're lazily made. They're like, hey, let's take a leopard and make it a little bit better. Now, like Wargaming has a pretty good creative department, like making camos and styles and designs and stuff like that. Even though, if you look at all the events, it's all just recycled. But Wargaming does have a good graphics department. Right? And they have a good marketing department as well, and a good marketing department is terrible for the players. Right? Like, the better the marketing department, the worse the consumer and customer experience. Because the more the people with business degrees have a say, the worse the quality of product, the worse the service, the worse everything. Right? The worst thing you can have for a business is to have business people in charge of it. Right? Because they're gonna squeeze... because basically, to an MBA haver, there's only one value, and that's money. How do we make more money? At least to most of them. They're all ethical ethical businessmen, but they're very, very rare. Right? But if you have like an engineering company led by engineers, you're gonna have a decent product. Right? Like if you have a perfume company that's founded and led by enthusiasts of perfume, then you're most likely gonna have a much better product and cheaper product than if that company gets sold to a hedge fund and they squeeze every cent out of it that they can. Right? Because eventually the horse semen deluxe scent is gonna cost $700. And it's not even gonna have any real horse semen in it. Which is a shame. Oh, Ollie, how you doing? Welcome. Do-do-do-do. Well, Type, how you doing? It took them 500 years to put these crew voices into the game. Joe the ML2. It's a bit of masochism on your part. I think the ML2 is probably the worst tank out of the entire Swedish tech tray. So, oh, gotta go down. Three. Is the crown worth it in 2030, or should I feed my children? Well, you should definitely feed... Well, actually, you should be a useful asset to capitalism and spend all your money on anime girls, of course. What else would you do? Spend your entire paycheck on anime girls. Do it now. Have you done it yet? 5k damage. Snooze. But yeah. I'm gonna grind tanks before being bored eventually. If you're bored, do something else. That's my advice. It is, how do I say, en vogue to abandon World of Tanks Blitz currently, because the amount of players has pretty much halved since last year, on Steam at least, which is semi-representative of the whole thing, sort of. So, it is currently very trendy to not play Blitz anymore. Ugh. Really save 130k. If you're grinding tanks and you don't have infinite free XP, always use your free XP for modules. Always, right? Because here's the thing. If you unlock the next tank, and the next tank is stock, and I have to play a stock tank, what are you doing? What is a stock tier 8 tank? A stock tier 8 tank is a tier 7 tank. Right? So you upgrade from a tier 7 to a tier 7, but now you have to play against tier 9s in your tier 7. So always use free XP for modules first. Right? Never just research the next tank and then play it stock. If you have the free XP, research the modules, and with modules I mean gun primarily, or most of the time you need to research a turret. Like you need to research a turret, then the gun, but pretty much research the gun. And then obviously the first thing you should do, the first couple of battles, is research the engine. And then eventually, the last thing is you'll get the suspension tracks. But if you can research the engine, if you can research the gun and turret before with free XP, then it massively makes grinding new tanks easier and more enjoyable. Import from a tank like Target 1 is such a cool now. Target 2 is too boring to grind. Well, if you want the E100, you'll just have to get through it. right? You just have like there's no. You can pay your way out, or you can get through it. There's no other way. It's like real life. You either have money or you need to work. If you have money, you can steal other people's work. You can steal other people's effort. But if you don't have money, you gotta work. And you gotta get through it. Because if you like don't have a lot of free XP, and you let's say you free XP the E75, which by the way plays exactly like the Tiger 2, just a tier higher, then you just be playing the Tiger 2 again if you play a stock E75. So obviously the most important thing or that you try to get is ×5 boosters. That's how I got to 35 tier 10s in 14,000 battles in World of Tanks PC. Like, in World of Tanks PC, I have 14,000 battles, but I have 35 tier 10s. Well, 33 tech tree tier 10s, I believe. Because I just have so many... I still have 220 ×5 missions in World of Tanks PC. 220 ×5 missions. That's 3 to 4 entire tech trees that you can go through from, like, tier 6 to tier 10. Because you can get 8 to 10,000... on a win. Right, and if you need 200,000 from a tier 9 to a tier 10, if you need 200,000, that's a bit over 20, maybe 30 battles from a tier 9 to a tier 10. So you can get an entire tech tree in like 60, 70 battles. Well, 60, 70 wins, rather. Still need to lose quite a bit in between. Not that good in the game too, though. Well, how many battles do you have, and what is your win rate? Because the easiest recommendation to improve is to stay in lower tiers. Right, to improve in tier 5 and 6 and 7. So obviously the higher you go, the faster you go. What do you mean not that good? You're 55% win rate. You're doing better than 95% of players already. You're doing better than 95% of players. Now, here's 3 things I can tell you that are very important in this game. Right? Always fight around cover and only fight one tank at the same time. Like I'm doing here. You know, I've got this piece of cover and I'm fighting the Kranvagn. And the Kranvagn's the only tank that can engage me. That's why I'm pulling back now, right? The Progetto can engage me. That's why I pull back from the Kranvagn, because I don't want the Kranvagn and the Progetto to be able to shoot me. So, obviously there's a bit risky here, but I can take that guy out. Now, here we go. All you need to get good at this game is awareness, awareness, awareness. Like, know what you're doing, know what everyone's doing. Only fight one tank at the same time. And make sure that you play around cover. Then, second, find yourself tanks that you enjoy. If you say you don't like the Tiger 2, maybe try something faster. Maybe try something different. Maybe you'll like that, because remember, it's a tank game, there's 500 tanks. You can choose which tanks to play and which not. Nobody forces you to play tanks you don't like. So, it's a lot wiser to find tanks you enjoy and you do well with, and try to force yourself to get good with tanks that you don't like. And, thirdly, this game is about having fun. It's not about getting the maximum amount of tanks. It's not getting about the maximum win rate. It's not about getting the highest battle count. It's about having fun. To have fun. Hello, Rectus. Yes, there are multiple studies that basically say that dumber people are happier because they don't know what's going on. So, yes. Intelligence makes one sad, because obviously the world is a very sad place, really, for a thinking organism. Paid 17.5k with the Evo and KV2. You mean the Smasher or the KV2R? How you doing, by the way? Anything you do, just don't play the Leo line, just have to log on. Yeah, don't do that. 60 TP, T110E5. That's the stuff you want. Okay. Probably should aim. That was impressive. That was impressively bad on my part. Got some premium tanks for free too. Nice. Play the tanks you like. That's the #1 advice. Smasher, got those spikes like those emo colors. Oh, true that. True that. Emo is like the perfect example of a spoiled kid that lives the capitalist dream. True. See, that's why I would sentence all those people to 2 weeks of Bangladesh, or probably even a month of Bangladesh. Right? It's pretty terrible there. And it's terrible there because it's great here. Right? Like, European and North American wealth is built upon African and South Asian poverty. And South American, but they're doing okay-ish. Except Argentina, because it's Argentina. Which TD should I go after? Don't take a don't get a tank destroyer. And don't get the 183. Like I just said, T110E5, 60 TP. That's what I would go for. Or E50M. Be aware though that the Panther 2 is kind of shite. No, no 183. It's terrible, terrible tank. It is a terrible tank. I said 60 TP. T125. I mean, if you want the 183, go for it, but it does suck. Badly. Tech trees are not fun to play because they don't make profit. That's the point. If tech tree tanks would earn credits, you would have to play less battles, and Wargaming doesn't want that. Wargaming wants you to play as many battles as possible. That's why tech tree tanks don't make credits and premium tanks don't make XP. Right? So you have to play both. One to earn credits, one to earn XP. And then you have more playtime, and more playtime is good for Wargaming, because the more time you spend with their product, the more they can sell you. That's why social media is so damn addicting. Because the more time you spend on it, the more ads they can show you. Duh. No, for once it's not terrible language because the West, the lady Prime Minister was pulling them up economically and socially, but they overthrew her chilling on a ship. You just called yourself a chimp as well, lol. But anyway. So, yeah, it's... We know that culturally conservative regions and women's rights don't work together very well. You know, it's like... Yeah. As you could probably imagine, is that... Like, socially conservative is the dumbest political thing you can be. Right? Like... Because, you know, without that, I mean, remember guys, the car is not the future. The horse will always be our method of transportation. The light bulb is not the future. The candle is always our method of lighting. The electric heating is not the future. Wood will always be our way of heating. Right? can go. I mean, combustion is not our future. Steam will forever be. It's if you live in the past, you're doomed to stay there, because the future will come and you cannot stop it. I mean, because look at what happened, right? The Romans, with all their moral failings, of course, which the Americans 1,800 years later still weren't able to grasp that indeed slavery is bad. But the Romans had a lot higher technology, a lot better technology than basically up until the 17th century in Europe. Right? Because people were like, you know what? Technology is against the Catholic Church. We won't do that. And then they went back to shitting on the street, because that's what happens. So, yeah. Probably I'm racist because I love my country and my flag. What? That's not how racism works. So... Yeah, how you doing, Mark? To make an example, racism would be to take that flag, go to another continent, stick that flag into the ground, and tell the people there that they're now subjects of the Queen, or King, whichever one's currently there. That... Yes, England, so the government says so. Yeah, but England hasn't had the useful government since, like... Well, I mean, Churchill was a giant asshole as well, so... Since ever, I think. '17th too far, gunpowder is a thing. Yeah, but that was invented by the Chinese. Printing was also invented by the Chinese. I mean, the Chinese method of printing was terrible, but they did invent it. So, yeah. And remember, all the, it's the same in math, like all the formulas, all invented in the Arab lands, they're just called, like the quadratic formula. You know, everything else, if it was invented by Gauss, it's Gauss's formula. But if it was invented by, I don't know any names, but if it was invented by Salim bin Hamid, it's not called bin Hamid's formula, it's just called math. Depends on what reason you love your country for. Yeah, I mean, like, the act of loving one's country is not negative in any way. You know, the Greeks have femboy. Yes, but the Greek form of homosexuality was the same as the Russians. It's a dominant culture. Like, basically, being the top is good, but being the bottom is bad. Right? That's that view of homosexuality, essentially. That it's basically... How do you put this? It's like... It's like a right-wing view of homosexuality, because basically you believe that there's one group of people that is superior and there's another group of people that is inferior, and the superior people are allowed to tell the inferior people what they have to do. And that's how that works as well. It's how the Russian army does it, you know? Like, there is probably nothing gayer currently than the Russian army, but... You know, they're... If you're at the bottom, you're shit out of luck. Ow. Zero was invented by India, and no, the formulas weren't Arab, they were translated by them. That zero isn't making India super high and yeah. A lot of people invented a lot of things. I mean, like I said earlier, the Chinese invented printing, but the Chinese method of printing was pretty shite, and then Gutenberg invented a better method of printing. You know, it's like in a lot of cases, you have stuff that gets invented at the same time as well by multiple people in multiple places, right? Why did everybody build the pyramids? You know, like because it's the most stable way to build up, right? If you have a wide base and a narrow top, right? Because that's just the best way to do it. Well, here's the thing. The current numbers that we use, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those are Arab numerals. They're Arab numbers, right? You wouldn't want to do math with the Roman numbers, with the Roman numbering system. You know, you have the XVIIV plus VIXCM. That's not how it works, but anyway. So, you wouldn't want that. Right, and I don't know, I still don't know to this day if this was real, but there was apparently a, like, questionnaire in the US, and they asked parents if their children should learn Arab numbers, and most of them said no. So, yeah. But, yeah. Alright, Depressed Loner, thank you for joining, have a go. But, yeah. I mean, strictly, Sub-Saharan African people are more Homo sapiens than Europeans. Because we're part Neanderthal, for example. So, whenever you hear some dumb clowns talking about a master race, a superior, just remember that they're more Homo sapiens, that they're more Neanderthal than the people they're looking down on. Which makes no sense. But, yeah, sense was never the point. Ay. Because it wasn't have their name in math. Imagine math being a liberal again the last... Yes, that's kind of the point, you know, it's like... Alright. I love my country because I was born here. Yeah. That's fine. You know, it's like... You can love a country you were born in, you can love a country you're not born in, you can hate a country you were born in, you can love a country you weren't born in. So... Just life. Alright. But in the UK's case, loving a country means staying as far away from Nigel Farage as physically possible. I know the island's not very big and Nige is moving, but yeah, I want to stay away as much as possible. How do you know that? I don't think that's true. What? If you ever feel sad, remind yourself racism is a real thing in India. Racism is a thing everywhere. Because your brain is primed. Your brain is evolutionarily primed to dislike things it doesn't know. Right? That's why people living in cities are more open, most of the time, and more sort of understanding of other people, other cultures, because they're a lot more in contact with them, right? But let's say you live in a village with 1,000 people, and suddenly a guy from Egypt shows up. You're like, ah! You know, because you've never seen that before, and you have no idea how to deal with it. Basically. So... the human brain doesn't like things that are foreign, and it doesn't know, and from an evolutionary standpoint that makes a lot of sense, because if you, like, let's say you walk through the forest and you see a couple of mushrooms that you've never seen before, and you're like, hum! And it turns out that it's a very poisonous mushroom, then, you did. So... you know, you can basically explain the entirety of that with... that we're just a form of monkey that is a little bit more advanced in the thinking department, but not that much. Yeah, what exactly? I said a lot, Nazine. I don't know which exactly you're referring to. If you mean the Neanderthal thing, then it's very simple. It's because humans love fucking things, and it's because Neanderthals were in Europe and weren't in Africa, especially sub-Saharan Africa. They weren't ever there. So you can tell that by looking at someone's DNA. Anyway. Hello. I mean, what are you doing, man? You're kind of like not that good at this, buddy. Could have hit the track there. Let's see, you're a light tank, but you're not fast enough. Goodbye. I mean, you could have at least tried to shoot me. Why is that guy trying to cap? I don't like that. Okay, I'm gonna try and drag this guy into the T-100. I mean, we're gonna lose this, probably. Don't think this is gonna go anywhere. Oh, Jesus Christ. J. Crizzle. Grill, why am I not dead yet? How bad are you? Oh, over-rotated. Hey. Look at that. Anime profile picture. A penguin would never do that. See? Penguin would never do that. 10v10. Yeah. See, 10v10 is like really easy because you can just farm people even harder. So that's kind of boring. Guys, do you want to buy some containers that include tanks that aren't any good? Like this one, which in World of Tanks PC is a tier 8 that's really OP. Because it's got 800 alpha damage. So... Imagine in 1,000 years Africa being rich because the rest of the world is a nuclear wasteland. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? See, that's the big fallacy of people. Right? In like 1535, they also thought they were at the height of what could be achieved. I mean, we're not at the height of what could be achieved. I mean, sure, we're currently extincting ourselves by destroying the planet, so we're kind of probably going to go away soon. In the next couple of 1,000 years. But... you know... what we currently have is nowhere near what we could have in the future. So... imagine if we could have a tank game that's actually good. Maybe in the future it will happen. Who knows? But not this century. Ain't happening this century. Come on, back off. Back off. Hello. Yes. Well, that's a free win. That is a free win if I've ever seen one. Yeesh. Oh, you can't flank me because, see, I'm up against the wall. There's nothing you can do about this. Bad idea, buddy. See a most play tank? No, the Object 140 is. This is, I think, my third most play tank. So... Well, I could jump on the STRV and... Actually, I'm gonna do the opposite. Fuck. Gotta make it fun somehow. Come on, 183. Oh my god, you idiot. Why are you... That 183 is a dumbass. Like, why would you take out an STRV that's on 100 hit points? What is that? Oh my god. What a goober. What a goober. Alright. IS-7. Got to the IS-7 last time as well. Kind of interesting. I mean, you kind of end up at the IS-7 a lot because a lot of people play the IS-7. It's probably the most present tank in the game. In terms of tier 10. Alright. No, Leopard. No. Did you see him turn there towards the heavy side? That's, Do ram kills count? Of course they do. It would be like saying, oh, if you get shot, you're dead, but if you get knifed, you don't die. So... I think Basha Barasco OP. No, it's not. The World of Tanks PC version is a lot better. Because obviously the maps are a lot bigger and you can deal with it much more. But it's a very good tank if you know what you're doing. Right, it's a vehicle that depends on you whether you're gonna do well with it or not. It doesn't gift you anything. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, see, that little flinch. That little flinch he did at the start of the battle, where he was thinking about going C, that was enough for me to sort of realize, okay, that guy's not very good. Because anybody that's competent would never even contemplate going city in a Leopard. Ugh, Jesus, come on. Jesus Christ. Don't think they're gonna win this, guys. Don't think they're gonna... Oh, he missed. And now he's gonna... Nope. Yep, he's gonna do everything wrong that you can do wrong. Obviously, he's gonna stay... No, he's not gonna... He had the traverse speed, but what he should have done is, like, put his ass up against the wall. You know, like, put your ass on the wall. Oh, Jesus, that guy just got exploded. Like, whenever a light tank's trying to flank you, just put your ass on a wall. You can't get flanked that way because your ass is on a wall. They can't get around you. But nobody ever knows that. Because they're not very good and not very intelligent most of the time. Which is a bit sad because they could do much better. Alright, now, the tank I die to next will be the final tank. Like, if I die in the T100 LT, the next tank I play is the last tank, and then if I die in that vehicle, whichever one it will be, I will play the M2 Light. We got to tier 10 pretty quickly today, to be honest. Oh no. Well, Patton, you're kind of dead now. And that Batshot, yep. He overextended just a little bit. He overextended himself. Just. How was I not spotted? The heck? That's wacko. That's actually wacko. It is kind of worrying that the... Like, the T-100 has a one-shot advantage over me. If he decides to push me, he's got... He's got an advantage, you know? I'm gonna rotate the vehicle here. So I can escape quicker. If the T-100 does decide to push me. That's why you see now that this is such a powerful position, because look at this. Try for the track as well here, so he stays up. Track as well. Nope. T-100 might get hornier just about now. Yep, there he is. And I'm out. Goodbye. Could have hit that. I don't want two people chasing me. And now what I'm gonna do? Am I gonna run away from my team? No, I'm gonna run straight back into my team. Right, because... Why would I give him the advantage of fleeing? Oh, look, now you have to run. Now I'm ahead. Look who's chasing you now, buddy, and I have the hit point advantage equal now as well. Oh, look, there's an I-7 there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're gonna bump into a wall, buddy. Huh? Huh? Ho! 5,000 damage. And the T-100 LT. Alright, let's go. Flex that biceps. Not bad. How about that? How about them apples? What is your opinion on apples? Alright. What the hell is the AC-17P Sterope? Apples. That is nice. I have... me... on apples. In a garden. Unfortunately, my favorite apple tree is being eaten out by, ants, which is a bit sad, but oh well. I have another one. But, yeah. Apples are very nice. Remember this number, 300. If you're more than 300 meters away from an enemy, your chance of being spotted is 0. Like, 0, 0. Because the highest some tanks' view ranges go is like 280 meters, something like that. So basically, a chance of being spotted is 0 at 300 meters. For 95% of situations. If you're a 4005, you might want to consider 350, but... Like, he could easily... Like, look at him. I don't know what he's doing, but he could easily just reverse behind the bunker. Right? Nobody's stopping him from reversing behind the bunker, but he just doesn't, because he has no idea what he's doing. At 280 meters, and this is getting a bit critical. But 2 minutes and a free win. See, this is why you don't go to the bad side And the heavy, like the heavy side. Pretty much always the heavy side is the bad side of the map. Don't go there. I'm gonna wait for him to turn, and there we go. 3,000 damage! We've got to take in the special need demographic, the 1 or 2 doesn't hold the 300 rule. Yeah, it sort of does, because like, if you're outside every enemy's view range, you can't get spotted. Ow. That kind of hurt. Damage. And starting up north too. We have a lot of ants here. I mean, I am the ant master. 4.5 again. Does that mean I have to review this tank now? Maybe. Here, I try doing compote. Well, I don't have to do that. My mom does that. There's about 500 jars of every sort of vegetable and fruit jars in the basement, self-made. So I'll have to do that for now. And even, you know, eventually I will never have to do it because there's so many jars that it will last me for 50 years probably. Did something just break back there? Is that a guy? Did you hear that? See? I heard him. I heard him. Now, obviously, what I don't want is for him to get close to me. Because if he's full, he can clip me. I don't think he is now. Why did I get my ammo rack damaged? Fuck me. Okay, still got him. They still call it canning when jars are used. I don't know, maybe. It's like glass jars, but if you need any of the caps, there's probably at least 500 of them still down there in the basement. So it's jarring. Oh jeez. That's a fuck! You see, me tracking him stopped him from rotating and killing me. That was the I was aiming for the track, but that was the luckiest that hit. Jesus. He has a repair kit. Why does he have a repair kit? Don't you? How dare you have a repair kit? Don't rotate. Don't do that. I think I can kill him anyway. Okay. Wait, where are the other two? Let's go wide. Going along. See, who would be crazy enough to directly attack a vehicle from the front? And see, the i7's smarty pants. He's sort of thinking a little bit. A little bit, not much, but a little bit. Nope, he's rotating too fast. He's rotating too fast. But the i7's not looking. I can shoot the i7. And he's dead. Come on, spotted. Ball sack. 4,000 damage again. Not looking at me. Still not looking at me. Still not looking at me. 5,600 damage again. Yes. Monkey mode. Absolute monkey mode, yeah. What am I doing right now? Is that you enjoying the game as life? Well, I mean... that is hilarious. The hell? Finally. Absolute monkey mode. See, that's why I play tanks like the Leopard or the E50M or, because they're fun. Heavy tanks aren't fun. Tank destroyers aren't fun. They're boring. For me, at least. I mean, this thing doesn't have gun depression, which kind of detracts a little bit. If this thing had like 7, well, it has like 8 or 9 degrees of gun depression, I would play this thing like all day long. Or maybe if it had like a bit more alpha damage as well. I'd have to review. Yeah, probably. That's another video, I guess. Oh, my balls. I think 3 is good enough. Did that hit something? I'm not seeing the splash in the background. I think... Not sure. I have no idea, man. Don't think it hit anything, but... Get off! No, it didn't hit anything. Do I grill myself a bat shot? Oh. Okay, first thing to do. He's loading. First thing to do, get him away from the heavies. Right, I don't want to deal with the 50. And he fell for the bait perfectly. Hello. That's bait! And it worked. Bush is dead. Yep. Absolutely annihilated that bush. I probably did about 2,000 damage against the bush alone. So... definitely worth it. It's kind of hard to die in a tank like this, though. Unless you force it. I'm not gonna go down to tier 9, man. I ain't going back to tier 9. Oh, hell no. Drifto! Shit. Shit. Nope. $2,500 damage. Yuck. Oh, what's that? So, is it a fan or a hater? Do it jiggle. It wiggle. Did they remove the old maps yet? I don't think we had one of the old 3 maps yet today. I don't know if they're still there even. I don't think we had any. Oh, really? Pathetic HE attempt. This might become interesting. Give a company just sent 2 ads by mail. What the heck? Why? That's whack. I mean... I received my new brake pedal today. Please bounce again. Please low roll. Oh, he's not gonna. Please screw it up. Come on, come on, come on! Hey! Yeah, I got my new brake pedal. I still haven't sent the old one off because they're using a shipping provider that doesn't exist in my city. Right, there are 3 package places in my city. And 1 that doesn't have a package place in this city. I'll guess which one they used. But yeah, your marketing guy at work. Yeah, like marketing people are like business people that are too bad at to do math, even basic math, right? Because if you look at like Goldman Sachs and whatever, they can't do math either. They have no idea what they're doing. It's just open corruption to mask obvious incompetence. Pretty much. But yeah, if you're even too bad at math for that, then you need to do marketing. It's like psychology in reverse. And I know how it works, because I learned that shit. And it is not fun. Just like that's not fun. You know what? I'm quitting if I die in this one, because I didn't expect to live this long, to be honest. Where's business marketing graduate? Yeah. I mean, I unfortunately know a lot about marketing because it's part of what I'm doing, but... like, essentially, business is getting as close to crime as possible without being caught. Basically. Like, it doesn't matter if it's criminal, if it's illegal, you just don't have to be caught, right? So business is getting as close to crime as possible without being caught. And marketing is getting as close to lying without being legally liable for it. Like, if you lie, but nobody can sue you for lying, that's perfect marketing. Essentially. That's the highest achievement you can do with marketing. And ideally, well, there is another level above that. Hello. There is another level above that, and it's, lie without anybody finding out that it's even illegal in the first place. It's even a lie in the first place. Because lying is not illegal. Even though for politicians it absolutely should be. James Carvey wants to know what I think. Lol. Who's that? Is it AT&T? Tell them to go fuck themselves. Greetings from me. Yeah. Plastic. I genuinely, I would ban every sort of mail advertising anyway now, because there's so much advertising on the internet that it's just a waste of resources, a waste of paper, and a catastrophe for the environment to like send out those marketing leaflets. Right? Like everybody has the Aldi app already. You don't need the thing sent to you once a week. Even though I gotta say, like I like flipping through the pages of the thing while I'm eating, so I know what I'm gonna eat next time, maybe. But yeah, I think they're a terrible. Well, what the hell is that low roll? Okay. Marketing environmental looks correct politics. It doesn't. So, like the thing is about the like you ever see those like posters with a politician's face on them? They do nothing. Right? They don't convince anybody to change their vote. The only thing they do is they essentially affirm people's intention to already vote for the thing they're going to vote for. Right? So they're just he was married to Ann Coulter. Oh. Well, was is a good thing, but given that he was married, to her, then I don't think he's a very good judge of character. I don't speak that. He's invited me to Telegram and Discord. Well, I sure hope he's Ukrainian. Player may have enabled the messages on... Oh, he unfriended me, lol. He unfriended me instantly, lol. 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 I know the first word. Can you... Hi, I invite you to an active clan, platoon game, clan, Telegram, and Discord. Weekly tournaments and various giveaways. You need to complete 40 kibbutz, whatever that means. Battles. You need to complete 40 kibbutz per week. Probably 40 battles per week. Or like the clan point thing. If you have your own clan, you can join our alliance with some conditions. They don't even play tournaments. So... 60%. Ukrainian, Russian. Okay. Okay. Never heard of them. Oh, an ad just played it. Bruh. Bruh. So, yeah. Even though you have to give it... Mark, you do have to give it to her that she's no longer the most insane right-wing nut job by far. Right? It's like... Obviously, I didn't pay attention at the time. It's how, once upon a time, Sarah Palin was the most moronic that Republicans had to offer. Right? I mean, let's ignore Bush for a while here. But, like, there was this time where, like, she was the dumbest thing Republicans had to offer, and then it got worse. You know, it's like I said, like 2 or 3 years ago, if Chris Christie is the sanest person in a lineup of people, you've lost the plot. Alright. Oh, right. Come on. Does anybody can help me? No. Okay. Back out. This is not good because enemies have map control. So we lose, pretty much. Nobody's shooting at the Vickers, which is weird. Okay, yeah, we lose. pretty much. That Vickers is useless. He's AFK, I think, as well. Yep, that's not gonna be it. See, this is the problem, right? When you can tell how a battle will go before it happens, that's when you've played too much. And it's the same in tier 1 and tier 10, right? If you don't have map control, you lose in 80% of cases. That is why, if you're a super duper ultra triple unicorn, what is how the incompetent Nazi take over? Well, they're not Nazis, they're not keys. National capitalists. Basically, the AFD. They're not national socialists, they're national capitalists, right? That's the difference, which is worse. Which is way worse. So... Because most of the time, socialists don't even know what they're talking about and don't even... They're like, what the fuck's going on? But national capitalists, they're ambitious, you know? That's worse from a starting standpoint, right? Like, how it ends up, it always ends up the same. It always ends up in people being dead. So... But... National capitalists have a direct interest in killing people for profit right off the beginning. Right? Because if killing people is profitable, then that's what is done. So... Basically, the only reply that I could have to such a topic is... We hanged him once. Well, the Americans hanged him once. So... Well... I guess if they're back... Gotta bring out the noose again eventually if they start doing dumb shit. That's how it always ends up. It ends up with people dead and then them dead. It's like it's always the same. Look at Robespierre. Robespierre was hacking other people's heads off till his head got hacked off. It's always the same. Right? If you have incompetent, evil idiots that kill people, eventually they will die. Unnaturally. So, yeah, I mean, even after the war, like 20% or something like that of Germans thought that the mustache guy was okay, right? And it was someone else's fault, right? So you always have like 15% of a population that are always morons. Morons. Right, people that live in a alternative reality and that believe they can travel to a past that never was. Ask for it in the major German banks. Yeah. It's always like that. Like, those people always exist. It just matters that whether they're in power or not. It always sort of switches, you know? For a while, you had the Catholic Church killing people for daring to do science. Right? And... You'll always have people emotionally respond to other people existing. You know? It's just... You know, as of 35 years after communism, I still think our dictator was a great leader and strategic. What is that, Romania? I don't know. Well... We got Spain. No, but that's longer than 35 years ago. The ingredients definitely an emoji. I don't really want to concern myself with people that clearly suffer from an unhealthy dose of narcissism and self-glorification. Franco's still dead. Well. See, when they say, oh, you shouldn't speak ill of the dead, fuck Franco and fuck Hulk Hogan. Well, not the character Hulk Hogan, the person behind the character. Fuck that guy. But, because, you know, Hulk Hogan was Hulk Hogan. So, He was, after all, not immortal. But yeah, it's always the same, you know, like in Norway, you know, the normal people won. In Poland, well, to Poland's credit, no matter left, right, whatever, Poles hate Russians. So credit to them for that. Because most right-wing parties in Europe are deep inside Putin's rear, right? Whether that be France or Germany or especially Hungary. Italy, not so much, which is surprising. You know, they're more classical fascists, less Russo-fascists, which is worse. So, yeah. I mean, now the French don't have a government anymore. And guess what's going to happen? People, mostly the uneducated people, because listen, if the populace would be educated, politicians could never get away with what they're doing, and the rich people could never get away with what they're doing. So they don't want the people educated. They want them to be stupid. So it's not really... It's partially their fault, but not entirely. Right? And so then the stupid people, they're going to vote for the far-right parties. The far-right parties are going to come into power. They're going to blame whatever except themselves for all the problems. They're not going to fix anything. They're going to make everything worse, and then they're going to collapse. And then some poor social democrat is going to have to come in and fix the whole mess. He's not going to be very good at fixing it because, you know, yeah, and they're going to get thrown out of power again because they didn't fix things quickly enough, and then the far right are back in power and they screw it up again. That's the circle of life, basically. It's like cancer, chemotherapy, cancer, chemotherapy, cancer, chemotherapy, cancer, chemotherapy. As you said, I love the uneducated and the crowd report. Yeah, because look at the two groups that you have to look at the most is journalists and professors. Like, the people that have the most contact with other people and the people that are most educated are pretty much never conservative. Like 90% of journalists, not like Fox News, they're not journalists. So, like actual journalists, people that do research, that do reporting on things that actually happened, right? So, 90% of actual journalists and professors, they're not going to be right. Because right wing is basically just the personification of I don't feel so good, mister, about anything. You know, it's like, oh, a new thing gets invented. I don't like it. A new person comes into the city. I don't like it. A new law comes into. I don't like it. A different religious group migrates to the country. I don't like it. It's like, just keep everything as it is, and don't change anything. But it never happens, you know, because otherwise, we would still be reading a handwritten book under candlelight while watching a woman get executed for daring to know math. Well. But yeah, that's life. And it's a very interesting time to live in, to be honest. Like, it's very interesting. Because right now, well, for the next couple of 50 years or whatever, it's probably the highest amount of humans, Homo sapiens, that will ever exist on this planet. Not this many Homo sapiens have existed before this, and not this many will exist after. So, yeah. But, in the end, it's gonna be a very fun 50 years. Gotta say. And, obviously, I'm gonna do the Blitz videos now. And then next year, in February, I will finally start to do the content that I have already planned on doing for a very long time. But, you know, from like October to February, I got no time for anything, basically. So if I make one now, it's going to sit around. It's not gonna be ideal, but I got the Blitz ones working on it. Like 3 are in editing and not done, and 1 I haven't even started yet. But it's gonna be interesting. It's an emoji. Oh well, he's. I mean, he keeps going like that. It's gonna make for a very fine moron later on. You know, because the worst people, to quote philosopher Hegel, evil is the good that believes itself to be the absolute good. Like, those people that believe they're always right, they're always wrong. You know, like, believing yourself to be correct at everything, that's how you're wrong. Because there is no correct thing. Like, science and all is basically just failing upwards. It's like failing and failing and oh, wait, we didn't fail. Wow, that's surprising. And failing again and again and again, and eventually you fail your way into an answer that might be somewhat plausible. Right? Or, in the case of, like, vaccines or evolution, we know it's true. Because we tried to make it not true, but it didn't work. Right? And once you can't make it not true, then there you go. Something wrong with his veins. Yeah, well, whatever. It's gonna be a good day when that guy is no longer alive. But until then, as always, thank you very much for watching. I will be back on Friday. Unfortunately, still without 13 because he's still on holidays. Or he has been eaten by a polar bear. I don't know. But I will most likely stream Lumo Ultimate or Wreckfest. We'll see. So until then, as always, stay safe, don't die, goodbye.